Hi, my name's Vicky Teal, and I just wrote a book, The Absolute Woman. It's all about feminine power. I've been designing dresses since 1964 when I went to Paris with my best friend Mia Fonsegraves, and we partnered up with Elizabeth Taylor. We started doing costumes right away, so we got to work in Biancourt Studios and met Elizabeth, and she became our backer. So I've had a really amazing life, and I put it all in this book. This is my second book. My first book is called It's All About the Dress, and that book was out in 2011. I've been working on HSN for the last few years, as well as designing dresses for department stores in America and my shop in Paris. But lately, I took to writing again, and I decided to write another book, The Absolute Woman. I want to talk about feminine power because I'm very lucky to have very young met all of the most powerful women in Europe in the 60s, from Brigitte Bardot to Sophia Loren to Elizabeth Taylor to Coco Chanel, and I spent a lot of time with them and I learned about power. And it was the 60s where everything had changed. We had a new world, a whole new world. Unlike my mother's world in the 50s, our world was liberation of the woman, liberation of equality of races, equality for everybody, and the women's revolution involved also a fashion revolution that I took part in. My contribution when I went to Paris with my best friend Mia was to start the miniskirt, and we were at first in the first month photographed by everybody, and that's how I got to do the costumes of the movie What's New Pussycat, my very first job only a few months after landing in Paris. And at Biancourt Studios, I met Elizabeth Taylor, and she funded Mia and I in a shop in Paris. Well, we all were partners, actually. And we opened the shop, Mia and Vicky. We were called the Yay Yay Girls. And this period of time in Paris was an amazing period of time, the beginning of pret-a-porter. This is all in my book. My book goes on to talk about the 10 points of feminine power. What are the 10 points of feminine power? Having been around the most powerful women in beauty and in stores and in fashion and creation in Paris and in New York in the 60s and 70s, I understood what is feminine power as opposed to masculine power. And actually feminine power, which is discussed, is stronger than masculine power because women have been in power since 35,000 BC when they were called the goddess culture. And today, men have been in power for 2,500 years since religion came into the world, and we decided to turn ourselves over to the men and have them rule us in exchange for fidelity. This is changing, and now, since the last 10 or 15 years, women have demanded equality in the workplace and in money, and I'm going to talk about in my book how to have power and the 10 points of power. It's a really important read, and one of the most important points of the book is to make your own money. I call it, I want to make t-shirts that say no sex for shoes. That was already mentioned in my first book. What does no sex for shoes mean? Don't ever ask a man for money to buy a pair of shoes. Make your own money and buy your own shoes. That is the number one mantra I have for women. No sex for shoes. I want you all to think about it and make your own money all your life. I started as a little girl making my own money at 12, and my parents wouldn't let me have my own telephone in my bedroom. I had to use the family phone, and I didn't like that. So I decided to sell clothes and make clothes. I had a sewing machine, and I sold all my girlfriends' clothes, and I ended up with my own money, and I bought my own telephone, paid for it monthly, and had my name in the phone book. Vicky Teal. And since then, I haven't stopped. I've always made money through selling clothes, and having my own money enabled me to have power, to have the things I wanted, to never have to ask my parents for money. And then, of course, when I went to college, I had a business in Greenwich Village making my own money. So making your own money is one of the most important things of my 10 points of feminine power that you're going to be reading about in the book. The other most important point in the book is our relationship with men. Finding a good man is a very important thing. For women who do want men, I feel that I have had incredible luck having two wonderful husbands. The first husband was Elvis and Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton's makeup man, the father of my 2 children. And my second husband was the total opposite. He was a nature guy I found in Key West when I got a divorce. So I had life part 1, which was wild and exciting all over the world with the Burtons, and life part 2 in being in nature and having nature homes and spending time understanding the planet and really being happy in nature and less social life. So this is all explained in the book, Men and how you find your man, what man is good for you. But of course, my entire life, I've been the person making my own money. If they have their money, they have their money. They contributed to my husband contributed to the children, but I basically funded myself in anything I wanted to do. And the last part of my book, the most important part of my book, to me, is the part that's going to discuss follow your dreams. I'm going to make another video discussing follow your dreams. To me, I believe that we all have a dream of what we want to do in life. My dream was fashion, and now my dream is writing. I love to write books. I just started when I was 68, and you're never too old. The greatest painters worked, and Grandma Moses worked till she died at 104. Coco Chanel worked till the day she died at 87. Elizabeth Arden and Helena Rubinstein worked till the day they died. So you can have a life part 2 job. This is all mentioned in my book. So what is the life part 2 job for me? Television. I love it. You get to really talk to the world. And now YouTube, where I can get to talk to everybody and tell them about my amazing life, very lucky life. But why did it happen? What did I do that was so special? I followed my dreams. So this is the next video that I will be doing, and I hope that you enjoy reading my book, and it's going to be launched soon. It's coming out on HSN as well, and La Femme Absolue is the name of my perfume. It's the absolute woman, and that's my mantra. I want you all to think about being the absolute woman, as strong as you could be and as powerful as you could be. Thank you.